Okay, so welcome everyone. It's always so beautiful to see you guys on the new moon. So first of all, new moon blessings to everyone. It's also really exciting to see a few new faces in our community. And I wanted to just start today by kind of just coming back to the intention of the seed community. So this really is an open platform where we can all come together and share our experiences, share stories from our life path, from our spiritual path. There's also opportunity if anyone ever wants to co-host a call with me, you're welcome to step forward and to share your voice and to become more visible. I know for myself personally in my life and on my journey that becoming more visible has been the most healing thing for me. And it's sometimes the most scary thing too. But that's really where our growth is. It's in being able to actually step up and allow ourselves to reach a new level of visibility in our life. So that really was the intention for Seed. It was to provide you guys with that opportunity to step up, to become visible, to use your voice, to express yourself, to share your gifts. So I wanted to kind of just start by coming back to that intention because we do have new people who are joining all the time. And it's beautiful. It's so wonderful to see this community gain energy and to just attract people from all over the world. It's really special to me because I think this is something that's really close to my heart, is bringing people together and creating that safe space where we can all, shine together. So I'm just really overcome with gratitude for everyone who is, catching the replays as well as everyone who joins the live calls. It means a lot to me. So thank you for co-creating. This really is a co-created space. So we're all creating Seed together as we go. So I just wanted to start by expressing gratitude and saying Happy New Moon. And also to welcome you all here to a very special call that we're having today. So I think quite a few of you are connected with me on Instagram. So you might have seen me over the last couple of months talking quite a lot about frequency and specifically talking about the Healy device. So I thought that this would be a beautiful opportunity to kind of come together to share with you in my own words what frequency is, as well as to have an opportunity to actually share frequency with you through the quantum field, which is pretty cool. So Ariane's also joined us today. She is one of my beautiful sacred Healy sisters. We actually met in the Healy community in December. And so she's joined us today to share her own personal experiences. She got her device in December, so she has a lot more experience with actually using it. I only got mine in the last couple of weeks because it's such revolutionary technology. It's not actually available in South Africa yet. So I had to wait a couple of months for a friend to bring mine down from Ireland. So that's really the intention for today's call. It's to talk about frequency, to give you guys the experience of actually receiving frequency. And then, of course, to invite you to, share if you have anything you want to share from your own personal life or, journey, or if you have any questions that you want to ask specifically about frequency. So I'm going to start this call by just saying that I am not a quantum physicist. I am not a sciencey person. I don't even have a scientifically minded brain. So I kind of just wanted to really start this call by saying that this is just me really just speaking from my own experience, sharing in my own words, and just knowing that, when we do just share openly from the heart, that's really when people receive what we're saying. Because when we speak, we're not just speaking with our words, we're speaking with frequency. So that actually brings me to the opening of what this call is about today. So in my view, everything in the universe is frequency. Everything is energy. So even though we perceive to exist in a physical world, that is in fact our secondary reality. Our primary reality is the non-physical, which is energy, it's frequency. So when we speak about frequency, what we're really speaking about is the amount of energy. So within different frequency bands, you have different amounts of energy. Therefore, things with a low frequency have less energy. things with a higher frequency have more energy. So again, everything is energy. So if we're talking about, a glass, if we're talking about water, if we're talking about our hair, if we're talking about the food that we eat, if we're talking about the words that we speak, it all is energy and it's all oscillating at a different frequency. So this is why I believe working with frequency is so important and so vital, because it is actually at the core of everything in existence. So I don't know if any of you were able to have a look at that Healy video that I sent through in our email yesterday. But in the video, what the lady explains is that if you look at everything under a microscope, you see that, if we look at our body, we have our physical body, we have our organs, we have our tissues, we have cells, we have molecules, we have atoms, we have subatomic particles. And if you look even deeper than that, we are 99.99999% space. And this has been scientifically proven that we are actually space. And what exactly does that mean? Like, what is this space that exists within our own physical bodies that, again, exists within everything in existence? And that is what's called the quantum field. So it goes by different names. You can call it the quantum field. You can call it the information field. Some people call it chi. Others call it prana. It can be called the Akashic records. But basically what this is it is a field of information. And from this field of information, this is basically the limitless potential that everything has to exist from. So if we think again about the physical reality being our secondary reality and the energetic reality being our primary reality, everything that's come into form in the physical world starts off as potential. So even if you think about when a baby is formed, we all start off with limitless potential. We could be absolutely anybody, but that limitless potential then comes into the physical world in a specific form. It comes in the form of this particular human being. So when we get to be able to actually communicate directly with the information field, we tap back into that limitless potential that exists for us. So this is the potential that we had before we were conditioned, before the world told us who we are, before we inherited all our ancestral traumas, and before our family conditioned us. So this is what the Healy device does. It communicates directly with that information field that exists within us and around us. And it enables us to actually work directly with frequency. So why is this so interesting and why is this so important? When we're able to work with frequencies, we're able to optimize our being. So we're able to optimize our physical being, our mental body, our emotional body, and our spiritual body. Because again, as I said at the beginning of our call, everything has a frequency, and frequency is the amount of energy that is available. So when we are at a low frequency, we aren't operating optimally. When we're at a higher frequency, that's when we are optimized. So what the Healy device does, and I'm going to show you guys, I haven't actually shown you yet. This is the device. What this little portable handheld device does is that it can actually communicate directly with your energy field, and it can analyze you and tell you exactly what frequencies are balanced and optimized, therefore what's operating at a high frequency and what frequencies are not optimized, what is out of balance, what in your life is operating at a low frequency. And it will then send you the exact tailored frequencies that your unique being needs to come back to homeostasis, to come back to optimization. So it's pretty revolutionary. And like, as I'm saying this, I know it can be a lot to take in, and it can be quite contrary to what we've been told about life, about the human body, about how, everything in existence works. So this really is just an introductory call to kind of, again, explain it all in my own words and to just maybe give you guys something different to think about, give you a different perspective on life. And this is what this technology is doing. It's kind of just going against everything that we've ever been told. You know, we've been told, okay, when you're sick, you go to the doctor tells you what you need, and the doctor prescribes you medicine. And this isn't taking away from traditional medicine, but it's adding to it, and it's putting the power for us to heal back into our own hands. So now, instead of necessarily needing to go to the doctor and explaining what your symptoms are, you can use the Healy device, which is going to go to the root of the symptoms. It's not going to treat symptoms, it's going to go to the root cause of what is out of balance in your system. So when I first heard about this device, it was in December, and there is a lady who I follow called Ashley Hammerleinen, who is a very well-known Akashic Records reader. So she's a very deeply intuitive person. She spoke about it on her podcast. And when I was listening to this podcast, I was thinking, how does this technology even exist? Like, how is this even real? Like, I had no idea that there was a piece of technology out there that has actually been created with the ability to communicate with the information field. It's the first that I've ever heard of this before. You know, there are people who are highly intuitive, who are able to, through their own means, communicate with the information field. This is how we have intuitives, this is how we have psychics, this is how we have people who read the Akashic Records. But what this device is doing is that it's giving us all that ability to communicate with our own information field without needing to be a highly intuitive person. So this is really where I see, you know, the world going as we step into this new age of Aquarius. This is now about bringing spirit and science together. So, you know, if we even just think about our own lives, there's been a huge contrast between science and spirituality. They've always been at loggerheads. You know, it's always been, okay, there's people in the science camp and there's people in the spiritual camp. And the people in the spiritual camp have always been seen as like very far out and very woo-woo, and like nothing's based in facts or you know, in scientific findings. But now with the Healy device, we're bringing those two worlds together. And what's actually so fascinating is that it was created by a man called Marcus Schmicker, who is a German man. He is a quantum physicist, but he also lived as a monk in the Himalayas for 12 years. So he's actually the actual embodiment of science meets spirit. And that is really what the energy of this device is. It's bringing the scientific and the spiritual together. So this is why I'm so excited about it, because I feel like it's revolutionary, and you know, it's working with everything in existence at this core level. And you know, sorry, I'm just letting people in. So that's what lights me up so much about it, is that there's so much limitless potential. When you hold this little device in your hand, you realize that you have this ability to now actually directly communicate with your own information field. And again, what does that even mean, right? What does it mean to be able to communicate with our information field? But the information field, again, is that limitless possibility. There are so many different forms that we could take in this life. There's so many different paths that we could take. There's so many different versions of ourselves that we could be. And this is why all of us are on our healing journeys. You know, you can call it your healing journey, you can call it your spiritual path, you can call it your life path, whatever, however you want to term it. We're on this journey because we're wanting to come back to who we truly are. We're wanting to come back to our innate essence, our authentic self. And so we do that through coaching, we do that through mentorship, we do that through yoga. You know, maybe we have other modalities like sound healing, acupuncture. There's all these different modalities that exist. And the purpose of all of them is to help us to come back to that original alignment with our true essence. That original alignment, that true essence of who we are, has a frequency that exists as a specific frequency. And when we come into the world, you know, as we come into the womb, we are within that original, that frequency. But then as soon as we're born, the world starts to condition us. We are affected by external environments. We're affected by our parents, by everyone who we meet. And all of that starts taking us away from that original frequency. The Healy device is created to help us come back to that original frequency. And I know that there are some skeptical people who say, but why do we need technology to do that? You know, we are divine. We are the creator of our own reality. We are infinite intelligence, which is entirely correct. The Healy device isn't replacing our own innate capabilities. It's enhancing that. It works with us. So when you use your device, even though the technology is scanning your field and recommending exactly what frequencies you need, it works with intention. So anything in life is only going to work as far as you believe it's going to work for you. So if you're someone who's very open-minded and you can see the potential of the non-physical reality and you are able to work with your intention, that's going to really enhance your ability to heal and to come back to your original essence. So this is why when we use the device, it's all about what is our intention? What do we want this device to help us with? It's the same, for example, if you went to see a Reiki master. Why are you going to receive Reiki? What is it that is lacking? And what is it that you're hoping the Reiki energy will bring to you? It's the same with the Healy frequency device. You're thinking to yourself, okay, what is feeling out of alignment? What is feeling imbalanced? What is it that I'm struggling with in life right now? And what do I want this device to help me with? So, for example, maybe you're struggling to sleep at night. So before you go to bed, you can vibrate sleeping frequencies to yourself, frequencies that actually help you to have a better quality sleep. Maybe you find that you are, struggling with a lot of anxiety. Then you can run a program called Relax that helps you to just come back to a quiet, calm state of being. Maybe you have an exam coming up and you want some help with concentration and with learning. You can run the learning frequencies. Maybe you're having irritation with your skin. There's a frequency for that. There's a skin frequency. This device literally has, I think, over 10 million patented frequencies that are available. So it literally has a frequency for anything that is out of balance in your life. And when you have this in your hand, you have that ability to send those frequencies to yourself. So this is also where the Healy device differs from other frequency devices out there, because there are frequency devices available. Healy is not the first ever frequency device, but it is the first ever portable wearable device. And how it differs is that it has what's called the quantum sensor, and that's the sensor that's scanning our information field in real time. Every 10 seconds, it's rescanning us and rescanning us and rescanning us. Because again, we are energy. Even though we look like we're a physical being, a physical entity, we are actually waves and oscillations of energy. And that's changing. It's constantly in flux all the time. So every time we scan ourselves with a Healy device, it's going to pick up on something different within our field, and it's then going to send us the exact frequencies we need to bring that back into balance. So that's kind of the Healy device and frequency in a nutshell. I know I kind of just spewed it all out there. But again, this really is just my own interpretation. If anyone is interested in learning more, I've got tons of videos and resources that I can send you that, have actually been, spoken through the words of a quantum physicist. I'm just not exactly a professional, but I am someone who is very open to new ways of thinking. And I can definitely say, I've had my device now for, I think I've been using it for about 2 weeks. And I can definitely say that when I do use frequencies, I feel a difference immediately afterwards. I feel a lot more positive. I feel calmer and I feel uplifted. So those are very base level experiences, but that's what I can share from myself so far, is that it really does lift my mood. And it helps you to kind of get out of negative thinking. which in itself is really so powerful, because when you can shift your mood, that's when you can shift your perspective. That's when you can shift your entire life. So that in itself is actually really super powerful. And I want to invite Ariane. I can see she's popping in and out of the screen. So is she there? Yeah. I would love to. You there?
Throwing up.
Oh, shame. Is this a bad time, or are you able to speak now?
Just like maybe 2 minutes.
Okay, we'll give you a bit of time there. So we'll just let Ariane see to her dog. But I wanted to invite her on today to share her own experiences of using the device, but also her experiences of connecting in with the Healy community. Because as I said, I only got my device like a month ago, and I ordered it in December. So between the time of ordering the device and actually having it in my hand, I was just connecting in with the Healy community. And coming home to this community was like coming home to myself. I've finally realized where all the light workers in the world are hanging out. It's literally in the Healy community. It was so incredible to just be connected with people who are like-minded, people who are, here to birth a brand new earth, people who are open to new ways of thinking, people who are ready to bring that scientific and spiritual side of ourselves together, and people who are also, again, on that journey back home to themselves, looking for methods to help us in coming back to who we really are, looking for tools that are going to help us to really step more and more into our own authentic expression. So Ariane, if you're ready now, you can share with us your own personal stories and just anything really that you would like to share, if it's about the device, the community, any success stories that you have, just whatever you feel called to share.
Yeah, I'm just gonna, she's making some noises again, so like, yeah. But yeah, so definitely it's been such a journey since I've got my device in mid-December. And yeah, I too bought it from listening to Ashley's podcast. So it was just like, I don't know what that thing is, but I have to have it, it was calling me. It's just like, wow, this feels like so good. And I didn't understand why. And it's like not like the cheapest thing that you can buy, so it was not like, oh, I'm just gonna buy it, then whatever if I don't use it. I was just like, no, I buy it, I use it. And so I started using it, and what really captured my heart, I could say, was really like the community. Because at first, like, I can say like I don't feel like I'm really sensitive or maybe observant of like the energy. Like I know you are really like sensitive. I was sending you distant frequencies, and you were like knowing it at the exact time that I was sending them. I was like, oh my God, this is amazing. But like I don't feel like I'm there yet. So for me, it was really like the community and everyone that we just got in contact with the like the broader community, or even like in our smaller community, and then just like the friendship that you find, and like from all over the world. I mean, you're in South Africa, I'm in Canada. I mean, like how else would have we like found each other? And so I just think that that was like truly like a unicorn moment for me when I like discovered the community of like and heart like like-minded and heart-minded. Yeah. So like I don't know if sorry, they're gonna bark at the neighbors. And yeah. And so yeah, for me, like I didn't even know I wanted like I already knew I wanted some type of community, but like I didn't know it existed. And I didn't know that, having that many people that were doing things like I did, or thinking like I was, or, you know, that it was possible for all of us to be like at the same place at this. I'm so sorry. Dog. And so yeah, sorry, like and but yeah, and I thought I was going to have to create it like by myself, and I was just like, oh my god, how am I going to, like, you know, with 80 people on my Instagram, how am I gonna, you know, create this type of community? And so yeah, I was feeling a bit like discouraged about that, but then yeah, when I discovered Healy, it was just like, wow, like a breath of fresh air. And it was just yeah, so heartwarming to find so many people at the same place. And yeah, and then after that, like a lot of things happened. So like I was you know, showing up, because there's like this 11-day challenge when you start with your Healy journey, that they are encouraging you to like show up and talk about it on your social media and things like that. And I was like, okay, so how can I do this? Because I wasn't showing up. I'd started my intuitive business in November, but I didn't do like anything really to promote it. I wasn't like showing up online or anything. So this really did give me like the confidence, because I felt like I had the support of the community, like with other like beautiful soul sisters that were like, yeah, I'm doing this too. And, you know, we're just like liking what people were sharing, and, you know, like, and yeah, so that was just like so good, because then I was like, oh, I can do this, you know, like I can show up, and I don't have like it's not that bad. And then like we had my first live on Instagram with you, and I was like, oh my god, what am I gonna like? And it was so fun. I'm like, that's what I want to do, things in community, like with others, and just feel that support, and then supporting others as well. And so yeah, that was really uh, so expansive. Yeah, that's the feeling.
Yeah, that's beautiful. Thank you so much for sharing. And, you know, something that I was also kind of thinking about earlier, again, everything is frequency. So when we all said yes to getting our Healy device, not only did we get the frequency of the device, but we also got the frequency of everyone else who said yes to the device. So it really was coming home to people who were on the same frequency as us, which is so powerful in itself. And, you know, this is again is why I formed this seed community, because it's so powerful for us to come back to community. This is the way that we were all supposed to live. You know, traditionally humans did live in communities. And so we're not supposed to do everything in our life alone. We're supposed to have that support of like-minded people. So, you know, this is again why I wanted to just introduce my community, my seed community, to the Healy device, because it's been such a pivotal aspect of my life. And the inspiration for the seed community, it came to me because of the Healy community. And I could see the importance of people coming together. And I then felt so inspired to bring people in my own world together into a community. So saying all this, I want to now actually take the opportunity to send you guys some frequencies. And then after we've received the frequencies, if there's any questions that have come up, you're welcome to unmute yourself and ask, or you also are able to ask in the chat box. But I wanted to just share frequencies with you all through the quantum field, which is exciting. This is my first time ever doing this. So I'm like, woo. As Ariane said, she's sent me frequencies before from Canada, but this is my first time actually sending to everyone else. So I'm just going to get it hooked up here on my phone. So the way that the Healy device works is that you obviously have the device, but then it connects to an app on your phone. So that's actually how you run frequencies. And what I've chosen to do for us today is I wanted to actually send us what they call Alaskan Gem Elixirs. Basically, these are frequencies from, everyone's laughing, you're like, what is that? I'm like, I also don't know what it is. But basically, in my view, that these are frequencies from different crystals, which I love because I like to work with crystals. I don't know if any of you guys also like to work with crystals, but I thought that what's really beautiful about these particular frequencies is that for me personally, I can really feel these frequencies. Again, it is different for each person. So it's not about looking out for a particular experience. It's just about being open to whatever's coming through for you and knowing, as it would be with a Reiki session, that you are getting healed on exactly what levels you need to be healed on. But what I also like about this program of frequencies is that when you send the frequencies, you can also get a PDF that you can read. And it gives you a whole lot of information about what is out of balance in your field and how these frequencies are helping to bring you back into optimization. So after our call today, when I send out the replay, I'll also send the PDF. So you guys can see exactly which crystals we're working with in our session today. And you'll see exactly what is the purpose and intention for the frequency of each crystal and how is this helping you to come back into balance. So you guys just get to relax. I'm going to send frequencies to us for about 12 minutes. So the same as what I would do when I'm doing Reiki, I'm just going to play us some relaxing music. You are welcome to keep your camera on if you feel comfortable. You can also put it off if you prefer that. And for you, it's really just about coming into a receptive space. You know, you can close your eyes, you can just turn inwards and just set that intention to receive. So it really is about just trusting that whatever comes through for you is exactly what needs to come through for you today. And that's exactly perfect in itself. So you guys can just relax, get into a comfortable position, and close your eyes. And we'll just start by taking 3 deep, conscious breaths. Taking a nice full deep breath in through the nose. And exhaling slowly through the mouth. Allowing each breath to bring you into a state of calmness, of presence, and receptivity. Just accepting this moment to be exactly as it is. And just knowing that on some deep level, your soul guided you here today to receive these frequencies in this way. So just opening ourselves up to trust. So as we relax and breathe, I'll begin to send us the Alaskan Gem Elixirs. First, fully trusting and knowing that these frequencies have come to support us on our journeys. And within their frequencies, they hold the intelligence and the intention to really bring ourselves back into that original blueprint of who we truly are before the world conditioned us. You can slowly start coming back from your experience. Just taking your time to arrive back in the present moment. When you feel ready in your own time, once you feel grounded and available, you can put your video back on. If you do have any water with you, it's always a good idea to drink water before and after receiving frequencies. This just assists the body in absorbing the new information, as well as helping the body to detox with anything it needs to let go of. And if anyone feels called to share, if anyone wants to share their experience of the frequencies, you are welcome to unmute yourself if you want to share what you experienced. Otherwise, you can also put it in the chat box.
Hi, Camilla.
Hello, hey Kaylee.
How are you?
I'm good, thanks. How are you?
Good. That was so wonderful. I thought I'd hop up quickly because I have to say goodbye soon. So I'll just really felt like I wanted to share that experience. In the beginning, I first felt it right in my solar plexus, like it hit like quite like loudly there. And the picture came up. It was like the sun's rays like going down over the ocean. And then it like hit this bright white light through my solar plexus, and I felt these like undulating wave like movements, which then turned into what felt like someone taking a heavy cloak, like pulling it off my shoulders. And like as that happened, these angel wings just kind of like expanded, like grew, feeling at the heart space that it was just like all the tension was just dissolving, like from my neck and my shoulder blades, like any pain I had in my body, it just kind of dissolved. And after that, it was just continuous, like undulating waves of color, like just like very pastel, soothing, like rainbow colors, just like constantly flowing. So that created a really peaceful and like harmonious balancing effect over my being. So thank you. That was incredible.
Wow, thank you so much for sharing that, Katie. That sounds absolutely beautiful. I'm so glad that you had such an incredible experience, and how amazing to just feel all that weight and tension and pain just literally melting from your body. That's incredible. Amazing. I love that. And yeah, thank you so much for sharing. And what's so beautiful is that, you know, each of us will have a completely unique experience. And each time we receive frequencies, it'll be a completely different experience as well. So yeah, that's beautiful to hear. Would anyone else like to share?
I want to share something.
Good.
So I felt like a cold but not unpleasant touch on my skin. It was like maybe even if a stone or something touches you, like it was cold but not too cold. And then I thought about the thing that I get confronted with being authentic quite a lot, and people show up in my life and show me that it's okay to be like weird, and it's okay to be your authentic self and to love and just be crazy. And before the call, I looked at my cousin's story, and he has his own business. And there was a mistake in his story. And I was like, oh no, I have to tell him. I have to tell him to delete the story. And during the session now, I thought that it's completely okay to make a mistake, and it's just authentic. And I feel like people take 50 pictures and then they post the most beautiful one, and we're like, that's reality. But if you took photos from yourself, you would know that most of the pictures are weird. And only one is good, and you post the best one and act like it's always like that. And I feel like I'm on a mission to show people that it's okay to be authentic, and it's okay to make mistakes, and it's really triggering everything out of me, because I don't want to show my mistakes. I don't want to show that I'm weird sometimes and I'm funny and crazy. But I feel like that's the guidance, and it was really interesting to see that. And I had a hand grabbing me by my hand. It was the feeling. And then I saw myself like others see me, that I'm open-minded, that I have a warm personality, and that I invite people to be themselves. And that was really beautiful to see, because I don't see it. And it was like someone was showing me how I really look like to others.
What? That was amazing. Thank you so much for sharing that, Julia. That really was so powerful and so beautiful. And you know, that is the intention of the Healy device and the frequencies that it sends, is that it's bringing us back to our authenticity. So how powerful that you had that experience before the session, and during the session you were able to get that higher perspective of what that experience before the session was actually showing you about yourself and your own gifts for the world of helping others to just be more comfortable in who they are and making mistakes. That's amazing. I love that. Thank you so much for sharing that. Is there anyone else who would like to share? Beautiful. Okay, so I know that we've been on for an hour, so if there's any of you who need to hop off, that's completely fine. I want to respect your time. But I also just wanted to leave a bit of space open if any of you have any questions about frequency or about Healy. You're welcome to put forward any questions that you have. And if you're all good, that's also fine. Julia's trying to type something. I'm not sure what it is, but it's coming. Okay. Julia's gonna process. Amazing. Okay, cool. So yeah, I'm glad then if no one has questions, then clearly what I said makes sense, which I'm very happy about, because as I was speaking, I was like, is this actually making sense? So it is a lot that I said. So I fully agree with Julia, like there is a lot to process. But just know that if you do have any questions that come up, you're welcome to get in touch with me. And I have a special offering, which is just for my seed community. If any of you would like to have a free one-to-one frequency session with me, I am offering a once-off frequency session to anyone who wants to receive frequencies one-on-one, and also then again to have that opportunity to go deeper into the conversation that we've opened up today. So I have already, I'm fully booked next week already. I've got a session each day next week, which is exciting. But if any of you were keen to have a session, we can do it the week after or at any stage in your journey. This is a special offering to you. Clearly, this is something that I feel extremely passionate about, and I really do see this as being revolutionary technology. And I really am very excited to use my Healy device and to see how it helps me on my own journey, and to then be able to share that with others and to help them on their journeys too. It's pretty amazing. So thank you to all of you for being here today. Again, I just appreciate you all so much. It really means so much when I see people hop on the call. I love sharing energy and being present with all of you. And also to everyone who's watching the replay, also to say thank you so much to you. And, you know, just if there's one last thing I can share is that energy does transcend time and space. So if you have watched the replay, you will still receive the frequencies at any time that you decide to receive the replay. So I thought it was just important to note that. Okay, so yeah, thanks everyone. You can unmute yourselves and say goodbye. Thank you so much for joining.
Thank you, Camilla.
Thank you.
Thank
Bye-bye.
you.
Bye.
Bye guys. Have a good weekend. Bye-bye. Thank you.